Go love your own enemies. Don't be loving mine. My enemies are the theocratic fascists. I don't love them. I want to destroy them.
Child made in the image of God. Oh no, you're not. You're a faggot. And you can't join your church and you can't go to heaven. This is disgraceful. It's inhuman.
I mean, I think it's typical of Islamic schools and the political Islamic movement to label any criticism a sort of prejudice and thereby racism, thereby trying to make people silent on criticizing it. I think the issues are very clear. I mean, the head of the Islamia school, for example, was quoted in an interview saying that you're born a Muslim, you're always Muslim, you can't leave. And that's things that have been told to me untold times for having renounced religion and Islam. There is threats, there is intimidations. Just yesterday, a 16-year-old girl was killed by her father for refusing to wear the veil. I think Islamic schools very much do suppress and restrict girls.
So not so very wicked is the view.
But what is the penalty for apostasy? What is the penalty for leaving the Muslim faith?
To be honest, I cannot back that point up.
Dr. Muqaddam, what is the penalty for apostasy?
And, before...
we keep coming down this apostasy. Give us a quick answer on what is the penalty for apostasy.
You very well know, if it's an Islamic country, then the Sharia is very clear. Apostasy is dealt with the death penalty.
Thank you.
I did not see the Richard Dawkins video that I posted on my channel as a mirror until after I made my video, where after a great deal of badgering, Richard Dawkins gets this guy to admit that the penalty for apostasy is death. What is apostasy? Apostasy. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And I'm again sorry, I still have my cold. Not being able to believe anymore. Turning your back on your beliefs. Betraying your beliefs. You know, I have committed apostasy. Becoming an atheist after you're a believer is apostasy. So if I were Muslim and the same thing happened to me, I stumbled across convincing bits of information that made me realize that my belief system that I have clung to my whole life was wrong. Not only wrong, but a lie. If I found out that it was a lie and that it was wrong, I would have no choice. It's not something that I would be able to control. You cannot control what you believe. You don't have a say. I don't know how come people don't get this. People don't have a say what they do and do not believe in. You are convinced that something is true and you believe in it because you believe. I mean, it makes sense. Somebody talks to you or points out things in such a way that you're convinced that it's true. And so you believe. If you're not convinced, you don't believe, do you? Opposite is also true. You're believing happily along, believing. Suddenly something happens. You come across information like, oh, I don't know, the entire church made up Jesus, and it wasn't even a real person. It was a made-up character. Kind of hard to believe he's the Son of God after that. And maybe you didn't even ask to have this piece of information drop into your lap. Maybe you weren't actually out looking for it. You were, just minding your own business, and all of a sudden, there it is. Something you didn't ask for, but it's there, and you have to see it. It's right there, and you see it, and now you know that the character Jesus never actually existed. How are you supposed to continue to believe? You can't. It's not something you have a choice in. You just can't believe anymore because you understand it's a made-up thing. You don't have a choice. You're no longer able to believe. Now, if I were a Muslim and this happened to me, I would be deserving of death. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just walking along, minding my own business, believing, and suddenly there's this information that makes it all so impossible to believe anymore because I realize it's not true. I suddenly now deserve death because of an accident, something that happened that I wasn't looking to have happen, that now makes it impossible for me to continue to believe I deserve to die, according to Islam. On Facebook right now, there's just, oh my gosh, under HuffPost religion, we're having this big thing about how Islam is a religion of peace. Yesterday, after I watched the Dawkins video, I came over to HuffPost religion, and I wrote, in at least some Middle Eastern countries, the penalty for apostasy, losing your belief, is death. Do not tell me this is a religion of peace. Somebody by the name of Yad'Al Athan writes, finally something you said that's accurate. The penalty is death. And that still doesn't stop masses of people from converting around the world to the fastest growing religion. Hundreds of thousands a year and growing in US. LOL. Don't you just love the attitude here? He's happy about the infestation of this fucking cult. Oh, yes, the penalty is death. And yet we're so popular. That's because you're fucking peddling this message really, really hard, that you're the religion of peace. And you're getting sites like HuffPost Religion to spread this lie, that you're a religion of peace. And then when somebody figures it out and puts out there, you actually are proud of the fact, yes, it's true. That's accurate. And yet we're so popular. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if a large majority of these Muslims that you want to take credit for being part of your religion are not Muslims anymore. Because if I were Muslim and I lost my beliefs because of something that I didn't ask for, something that I cannot help, something that comes across my path that shows me that I believe something, what I have believed my whole life is wrong, I would not be doing what I do on YouTube and Facebook. If I were Muslim, oh boy, I would be a pretender. I'd be walking around, I'd be wearing the robes, I'd be hiding my face, I'd be cowering in a corner, hoping every single day of my life that nobody figures it out, that I'm not really a believer anymore. I would be hiding. I would be going through the motions. I would be doing all the things that a good Muslim should do, because I would be terrified for my life to be discovered that I don't believe anymore. That's what your cult does. How many people are walking around in fear every day because of this fucking cult? I honestly did not know this about Islam. I don't know a lot about Islam. I just know what I've seen in my 52 years, what I've seen about honor killings and little girls that have been killed by their parents for not dressing right, or women being stoned to death for owning a cell phone, or falling in love with somebody who's in the wrong tribe, or whatever. Burning brides, or whatever. Your cult is like Old Testament, whatever. You use the Old Testament, you enforce Old Testament laws, and you say it's, well, you know, we're being true to God, and you don't even have proof this thing exists. You don't even bother to prove this thing exists. You just say he exists and use it as an excuse to kill innocent people. And I'm sorry, it is not a crime to suddenly not be able to believe anymore. Not being able to believe something is not a crime. Saying you don't believe something is called being honest. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with being honest. Honesty is a good thing. You want a bunch of liars pretending to be Muslim I'm sorry, you don't get credit for those people. All it does is show that your religion creates fear and terror, even the supposed mundane, benign versions of Islam. Oh no, we're not like those terrorists like the ISIS. We're not running around burning people in cages or cutting their heads off. No, we're benign. We're peaceful. Even the peaceful version of Islam is sowing fear and terror. You are a terrorist cult because you have people running around pretending that they are something they're not for the rest of their lives because they don't want to die. I have a news flash for you, Muslims. Killing is wrong. Killing is evil. In your religion is evil. You teach that it's okay to kill somebody for something they can't believe in, for not being able to believe in something. You kill them for that. You put them in prison for that. And you actually walk around and you're proud of it. And you're proud of the fact you're spreading this over the world. Oh, let's spread the fear over the world. I hate Islam. The more I'm learning about it, the more absolute contempt I feel. I thought Christianity was vile. Christianity doesn't kill people. I'm sure a lot of Christians would like to have that ability. But Christians don't usually kill atheists as a rule. Islam, it's okay to kill atheists. It's okay to kill any Muslim that becomes an atheist. It's okay to kill any Muslim who wants to learn about science and they accidentally learn along the way that their religion is wrong. And if they let anybody know that they no longer believe, they deserve to die. It's not just that they get killed. All Muslims look at them and think, yeah, he deserved to die. And that's the kind of mentality this cult is creating in people, that it's okay to kill people for just not being able to believe something. That's okay. It's okay to kill somebody for not being able to believe. What if it's somebody who is no longer able to believe is a little kid, 10 years old? Somehow, for some reason, killing little children hits a nerve with most people, more than adults. You know, it's horrible to kill anybody. It's wrong to kill anybody. But usually, you know, you have to put out there that it's starving children. Children and babies are starving before you can get people to donate to charities that feed the starving people. You don't put starving adults in your ads looking sad and afraid and depressed. No, you put little children, vulnerable, helpless little children in the ads because that strikes more of a chord. So I have to do that now. What if it's a 12-year-old child who was a believer, but then he went online and he saw some stuff online to realize that it's not really true. And maybe he's so young that he doesn't really understand that he can die because of this. He could die because he can't believe anymore. And so he tells his family and he tells his parents, I don't really believe this stuff anymore. What's going to happen? Oh, they're going to drag him out in front of the town and stone him to death? Because he, didn't know that it's something shameful. It's shameful to be honest. It's shameful to tell the truth about what you do and do not believe. And you can die from it. I think this Yad'Al Athan, or whatever his fucking name is, has shown in so many ways with his little arrogant comment just exactly how there is no such thing as Islam, the religion of peace. There's no such thing. And now my phone is ringing and I think I'm done with what I had to say. If you've been watching, thank you. Bye.
I am absolutely convinced that the main source of hatred in the world is religion. And I think it should be religion treated with ridicule and hatred and contempt.
Share the same way.